Oh, welcome back to the Minstermen Man. I'm Dan and this is episode 10. And we're up against Scunthorpe today in a kind of top of the table clash. We're still top of the table though, so I'll just hop in and show you. Oh, what's this? Harry Kewell, Bolton manager. Okay then. So the pre-season prediction, guys, were that we would be rock bottom, 1,000 to 1 odds to win. Since then, it has increased slightly. They now have us at 21st finish, or 21st best odds to win on 750 to 1. We are, of course, the top still. And we've had decent form indeed, since I last saw you. Scunthorpe, they were second in the last episode. I think they have dropped down to third. They did lose, and that's when they dropped. They lost. Rotherham won, so Rotherham are second. So now let me just show you what Scunthorpe have been doing, of course. So these are Scunthorpe's fixtures. Why is it not showing me the bottom? Weird. They, of course, have been doing decent, but perhaps of late not so good. They drew 2-2 against Coventry. They did lose against Rochdale. They won rock bottom Northampton 4-0. Only a draw against Plymouth there and a win against Bury. Kind of similar fixtures to what we've had recently. We had Rochdale last match. We've had Northampton, we've had Plymouth, Bury. So quite similar schedule, and I think we've done slightly better. Anyhow, we were, of course, last here for the Aston Villa win in the FA Cup. Played the Everton match. We were 2-0 up at one point. They got one back just before half-time, 2-1. And then you see there, Kieran Dowell on the 89th minute gets an equaliser for them, and they end up winning on penalties. So we're out of the Checker Trade Trophy, but we did a good job, I suppose. We are still in the FA Cup, of course, and have the league to concentrate on. So it's quite nice to be free in that sense, to be free of the chains of the Checker Trade Trophy. Anyhow, Northampton was next. Away to Northampton, they sit 24th in the league. Obviously, that is bottom. Scott Fenwick with a couple of goals and Max Hazeldine with a goal as well, all before half-time, all before the 40th minute, in fact, puts us 3-0 ahead, and it pretty much stayed like that up until the 81st minute. You see there, they get kind of a consolation goal, doesn't really put them back in it, and it's too late in the game for it to really matter or make a difference. It does mean that Bulker doesn't get his clean sheet for us, because that's his first goal he's conceded for us, Bulker, because Letheran had played in the Aston Villa match and Everton match, so he's done alright so far. Anyway, the Rochdale match was disappointing. We went up 1-0, they come back 1-1, fair enough, but we got what I thought were going to be a late winner. It was Lyle Taylor, 87 minutes, 3 minutes to go, gets a goal, 2-1. I thought 3 minutes ago, 2-1, that's fantastic. But you see there in stoppage time, Callum Saunders for them, he gets a goal in 2 minutes. I think it was only 2 minutes stoppage time. So right in the last play, he gets a goal, and we only get a point from it. But Rochdale do look to be on decent form recently, so not too bad then. We weren't playing our strongest side because, as you can see there, only 4 days before the Scunthorpe match, so I wanted to rest a couple of players. I wanted to at least make sure that we didn't get any silly injuries or whatnot, and we could play a really good side, our strongest side, against Scunthorpe, because like I say, they're not second anymore, but they're third. They're 7 points behind because they've taken a couple more draws and a couple more losses recently, but still we want to be capitalising, making that difference much larger. You know, at the start of the season I was all about survival. In fact, I called the first episode Starting Survival Season. A few episodes ago I was talking about not being worried about promotion and just getting as many points as we can so that we weren't going to get relegated. And then I started talking a bit more about just enjoying this whole being in this position. Now because it is getting quite late on in the season. There's a handful of games to play. There's over 10 still, but if you have a look at the points difference there, okay, then 5 points from Rotherham, who sit second, but we beat Rotherham twice this season. And then, you see Scunthorpe, Peterborough, that's now 7, 8 points, 9 points. So we're creating quite a big gap at the top, it seems, and we've been at the top for most of the season. York, look, I mean, we've been top, and then that's when we, I think, Doncaster Rovers lost against Nottingham Forest, Oxford United, but you can see we've just been great. We've been first the whole time, and it's been crazy. I mean, let's have a look at Rotherham. It's taken Rotherham much longer to get to where they are. Scunthorpe, same. Peterborough, okay, they've been first a little while. They were second for a large amount of time, but you can see there we've basically dominated the whole since day one. Since the first match of the season, we've been first. We've dominated the league, it seems. Okay, guys, this is going to be our side today, our lineup. Now, there is a little bit of injury news, I suppose. It's the low knee. It's Ivan Toney. Brought him in. He's played a couple of matches. He's injured for like 5 months, I think. So, yeah, 5 to 6 months. I mean, for the 3 games he's played for us, 7.17 average rating isn't bad at all. And it's really disappointing because we're basically playing our three strikers in our starting lineup. We don't have any other strikers apart from perhaps Hussein Mohammed. So we need to kind of bring another striker in, I think, in the next week or so, just so that we've got the numbers there. Of course, Axel Prowley can play in that shadow striker role. Sutherland can. Cavalier can. So we have options, but I do want to make sure that we have enough strikers at the club. Anyhow, Marcin Bulka in the net for us. Hanley as a complete wingback on the left, Essam our captain, and Lee in the centre. Rooney as a defensive fullback on that right hand side. Winchester on the right side as a winger in midfield there on attack, and Mafuta as a ball winning midfielder. He's had a great season so far, Mafuta. He's got play instructions to go further forward, of course. Deep line playmaker on defence is going to be Cavalier, the attacking-minded player, but he has been playing very good in that defensive role, so I don't mind playing him there at all. I think it works. Hazeldine as a shadow striker, usually play him up as a poacher, or as a false nine, or as a defensive forward. He's quite a versatile attacking player. He's been doing decent for us in that shadow striker role. It gives us a little more oomph going forward. Fenwick as a target man, and Lyle Taylor as our poacher today. They're playing with the wingers then. They're playing like a 3, I would call it a 5-2-1-2 formation, but you've got the wingers there. So they're looking fairly strong defensively with 3 centre-backs, but hopefully we can capitalise with a counter-attack. If their wingers are forward, we can use that width, try and bring at least one of those centre-backs to the wings as we're pushing on the wings, and that might open a bit of space for our strikers in the centre. Hopefully that's how it'll go down, but like I say, I hate playing against these wing-back formations. They scare me a little bit, I think. Now, I do have a soft spot for Scunthorpe United because FM17, Scunthorpe United, I actually started it with Wimbledon, but left, too difficult. Scunthorpe United then started in League One, got up to the Premier League, won a few Premier League titles with them. Very decent indeed. And I still actually boot that save up sometimes to play it because it's still so good, even though we're in something like 2030. And none of the players are real anymore, it seems. But I really enjoy that save. So I've got a bit of a soft spot, an FM soft spot for Scunthorpe. So I do want to see them do well, but not today, preferably. Everything is in your hands as things stand. So can you go on and become Sky Bet League One champion, says Jack Wright. Well, Jack Wright, we've managed to give ourselves a great platform on which to perform going forward, and I hope players do themselves justice because they've been magnificent all season. I think that's what we're going to say. That's what I'd say. Okay, so all the players are booted up, ready to go. Either they're happy or motivated. I'd rather them be motivated, but happy. I suppose happy's better than sad in football. Is it? If you're sad, I don't know. Anyhow, let us jump in. I will be playing on a flexible counter formation. Wiseman on the right for them, whips it for Van Veen, and Van Veen gets two opportunities there to get a goal. Didn't get any of them. I think he hit the woodwork once, and then it just went wide. His second chance. Winchester's in for us. Hazeldine on the edge of the box. It is rebounded. We get the corner. It's 6 minutes gone. This is our first opportunity. Winchester whips it in, finds Lee, but Mafuta can't find a goal. And we know that he likes to score goals from corner kicks. So he could have well been in there, and that would have been a great start to this match. But alas, it didn't happen. So I don't know why I'm talking about something that didn't actually happen. Lyle Taylor, though, we're on the counter now, but we're kind of not. Paddy Madden is, and he gets the goal, Paddy Madden. And, tried to sign him for York, in fact, this season. He was just too expensive because he's a good League One striker, so we were never going to be able to sign him. But let's just see the goal then. Probably well deserved. They just caught us, really. Dozing in the back there. Bulker could have perhaps done a little better, but you're one-on-one with the keeper, one-on-one with Paddy Madden. He's got a good finishing. He's going to score. So, we don't look like we're doing too much in this match now, which is fairly worrying. Hazeldine now. Fancied his chance, had a shot, didn't pay off for him, never mind. I feel like we're playing a stronger team than we have been doing in the past few matches, and we're not really doing anything at all. Townsend for them with a much better free kick than what we've just seen from our man, and Bulker does well to tip it over the bar. Again, Paddy Madden very deep, sitting very deep, but drills it into the box really, and we need to get that out, and we have got that out. Williams now chasing it for them. Jules, they're doing so well, so much better on that possession. We're not really playing possession football, but we can't seem to get our break anyway. Fenwick playing deep there, a striker who clears it for us. Paddy Madden has his chance again, but Bulker with his hands on it, nice and firmly. We are struggling, they're all over us. Jules whacks it up. I'm not sure what we can do right now. I'm not sure. We might have to pop in and look at some stats for this. Cavalier has come off. O'Hara, our new guy, he's come in there. He's much more familiar with playing as a deep line playmaker on defence. So hopefully, and he's got a bit more experience. So hopefully that can bode well. And we've switched Hanley, our wing back on the left, to just be slightly more defensive in a sense. And what else have we done? We have we're trying to exploit the right hand side because we've not been using the right, and Winchester is actually quite a decent player, so I do want to bring him into the match. So hopefully that'll bring Winchester into the match a little bit more. But we were quite weak on the left hand side, and we weren't using the right hand side as well, so I've just tried to encourage the team to do that a little bit more. It doesn't seem like it's doing much, but we're now going to go on control. The reason we're going to go on control is because we've not been able to have as many chances as I thought we would on counter. Usually we do have quite a number of chances. They might be sitting back now, for instance. They're not now. Oh, we were lucky there not to concede a second. But, you know, because of that, they might be sitting back anyhow. So we'll try and go on control, try and see what we can get. We'll go structured as well. It's disappointing though. We've not looked to do anything up front, and we're playing our three best strikers. So that doesn't look great. We're probably going to switch Hazeldine for Taylor then, playing as a poacher. We're going to take, should we put Ben Sheaf on? We'll put Ben Sheaf on. Axel Prowley's decent. He's been playing well, but I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. We might swap it round. I mean, can we do that? Cancel pending changes. There we go. Cancel pending changes, and let's put Axel Prowley on. Okay, let's take Lyle Taylor off. Let's put Axel Prowley on, and let's do that instead because he's got a few goals recently playing in that position. So you never know, he might do a similar thing in this match. Right, what can we do? This must be our chance. Mafuta, O'Hara, to Lee. He's up forward. Mafuta, Prowley, Hazeldown, Winchester. Come on, lads. Let's find some space. We just got the ball. We were sitting too narrow there. We weren't playing our usual football. Let's try and, much higher tempo. We are trying to play wider. So I'm not sure whether going even further wide. We'll give it a go. We've got nothing. It's not working, whatever's happening now, so we might as well change something. We can either go wider or narrower. We'll go wider. Just because they still seem to be sitting and playing far too narrow for my liking. We need to be playing slightly faster, I think, in our passes. Hazeldown. He needs to turn and just get it into the box as soon as possible. That's kind of the instructions I've put there. That's what I want to see. Henley, Prowley now finds Fenwick. Now he should find Hazeldown, but he doesn't. Winchester again. He's holding the ball too much. He's thinking about it too much. O'Hara, Prowley, just boot it up. No, honestly, loft it forward. Nobody's offside. You've got nothing to lose. I don't know why my team want to play all this possession style football when I've told them not to. But anyhow, don't think there's anything I can do about that. Hanley. That's more like it. Prowley, though, perhaps not as good a first touch as what I would have hoped for. Minstermen then on the centre. Townsend. Rooney takes that ball off him perfectly. Prowley, and now we are on the break. Winchester on the right. Kenny whip it? He can find Hazeldown. That's what I'm talking about. That is finally we get. Finally we get our first actual chance. Our first shot on target. Disallowed. Not sure I agree with it actually, but perhaps let me know in the comments whether you think that was. I'm not going to go look back at it. I didn't think that he was, just at the time. Van Veenem for them, good save from Bulker. I didn't think he was offside at the time there, but I've not looked back at it and concentrated on it. If you guys want to chip in with your thoughts on that, but I think that was very unlucky from us. We should be back in this match now, 1-1 it should be, in my opinion. It's a shame to bring you guys this poor performance. Wootton then for them. And it's deflected and it'll go out for a corner. But yeah, it's a real shame that we've not performed today. I thought this match was going to be difficult, but probably not this difficult. I've not changed anything since our performances previously. We've been playing fantastic. Maybe Rochdale not so well. That was our last match, but I put that down to not playing our best players. But can't put this down to that because we kind of are. That's going to be it. I think it's going to be 1-0. It happens. It doesn't happen very often, luckily, but it happens. And I'm just going to say that I'm not happy with that performance. I don't think anyone would be. We just didn't have the chances there. We didn't play our usual game of football. We're only 2 points ahead now of Rotherham, who's sitting second, and 4 points of Scunthorpe, which of course they have really tightened that gap up there. Peterborough on 57 points as well, so anyone in the top 4 could potentially be in for a title run-in. Never mind. Right then, so never mind. 1-0 loss. Not fantastic, but it's our first loss in the league since we lost against Nottingham Forest back in December. So it's our first loss this 2019 year in the league. So not too bad. Not the greatest performance. I mean, I think the most disappointing thing is that we didn't score. If we'd have lost, well, I thought we might have lost. I thought we may have drawn, in all honesty. But we didn't even score. And we were playing our best three, our only three strikers, really, from the outset. So that's quite disappointing. I mean, last match, yeah, we scored 2, we scored 3, 2, and then we've scored 2 for a while. We didn't score against Burton, but at least we got a point. The last time we didn't score and we lost was the 7-0 loss. So it's one of these ghastly 1-0 losses. Oh, sorry, yes, Scunthorpe. We didn't beat them then earlier on in the season. I must have been thinking of some other team. They beat us 1-0. So they've done it again, 1-0 again. So probably not learned from our mistakes. They were probably playing a similar style of football. And that's another 1-0 loss. I think that puts us to 4 1-0 losses in the league so far. So not great. But we'll be back for the Stoke match in the FA Cup 5th round. And hopefully we won't get hammered. Okay guys, if you've liked that, please give us a thumbs up, like the video to show your support, comment if you fancy chatting, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And please share this video and this channel on social media with your friends, with anyone else you think that might be interested in this kind of content. But until next time, Stoke match in the FA Cup, ta-ra.